Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Colonel Grumpy, and this is Colonel Grumpy's STEM Club. And today we got a special program for teachers, scout leaders, librarians, and educators in particular. And it's about the Civil Air Patrol's Aerospace Education Member Program. The Aerospace Education Member Program is geared for educators. It gives them a chance to receive our STEM kits and participate in various programs. Some of the programs that we have under the AIM program is the ACE, it's Aerospace Connections in Education, and it's for grades kindergarten through 6th grade. And with that, you receive a complete curriculum for the entire year, and you go and follow that curriculum, and the entire school could become an ACE school, and that's through our national headquarters. You could also participate in the Aerospace Excellence Program, which you take and do 6 programs, 6 projects out of a book, and with that you go and receive a certificate. Each student or scout will receive a certificate of accomplishment, and then the teacher or scout leader will also receive a real nice certificate. Some of the other programs that we have with the STEM program is, well, we went over the ACE and the AEX program, but here's a flyer that explains each one of the programs. Oh, when you become an Aerospace Education member, you also get a chance to go up in a Civil Air Patrol airplane on an orientation flight. And on the back, it shows 15 different STEM kits that you are eligible to receive as being a NAME member. How do you become a NAME member? Simply by filling out an application form, and the cost is $35. And that's not for a year, that's for your lifetime. The only thing on here is you have to put your email address, and we ask that you don't put a school address, because a lot of times what happens is that will go into your trash bin, and you won't get to see it unless you go through it. And if you use your personal one, you'll get the emails. At the end of the year, you'll get a questionnaire asking if you used any of the STEM kits, if you participated in the AEX program or ACE program. And if you did, you write yes. If you didn't, you leave it blank. And then they'll ask you, do you want to participate again next year? And you say yes. Okay, what I'm going to do is go over and show you some of the books, Ken. So, okay, each STEM kit comes with an activity book. And in that activity book, there's a number of exercises. One's like observing the moon. the different seas and stuff on the moon. You could also get, I was talking about the AEX program. Here's one for the middle school physical science program. And then they have the AEX and 1 and AEX 2 books. Each one of them has separate different activities. And it goes on, there's AEX and model aircraft and remote control. And there's one in math, there's one for adults, for senior members. So, and we really want to touch the younger students and scouts, and we have several books for aerospace for the very young. And in it they have the Toys in Space activities, and this is one of my favorites, and the kids love the paper boomerangs, and we go and we make them and they toss them and they can't believe that they'll come back. So, okay, let's go on to our first STEM, is the robotic arm. The robotic arm is geared for junior high and high school level. They have to put it together, and I usually tell to make sure that there's adult supervision with it, because the wiring is quite precise, and it can, like for the grasping here, if you notice, it's a little bit off. So, and it's something that junior high and high school kids need. And there's also with it where you could, there's a USB interface kit where you could put it into a computer and then the computer runs the robotic arm. And there's all kinds of different activities. If you want to have real super young kids like the primaries and you want to introduce them, you get those robotic claws, the grabbers, and you could take a little board and put holes in them and then put the arms in, and then have two of them and have them take and sample trying to pour something into another can or into a jar or something, like marbles. Our next is the weather station. The weather station is fantastic. It's geared for the entire school. And we also have libraries that use it in after-school programs. And some libraries also take and run it with the school. They have the students come over and do the weather readings each day, and then go back and report it on the news. Most schools have their morning news sections, and they have their own weather report. Or the school could put up a weather station itself and go and have each class do the weather for, say, a week at a time and alternate and let them do the weathers on the reporting. And there's all kinds of activities with it. You learn about the clouds and the barometric pressure, when is it going to rain, and what about the different fronts and the cloud types. And it's a great little program. And this kit alone runs between $200 and $300. So when you put that $35 in, and you get something worth $200 to $300 back, where's your budget? Can you get that in your out of your penny? Whatever it is, your penny jar, your little side budget. Okay, one of my favorites is the model Rocketry. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret. When you order the Rocketry, say you have 25 students in your class, go and order 30 kits, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build one first to see how it's built, how it's put together, and then you're going to have to demonstrate in building one to the class when you're doing step by step. And then you always have one or two for those oops moments when a student is supposed to cut a little notch and they cut the whole engine tube. So, and some of the activities in the book are like the straw rockets. The kids love these, and there's so many different activities to do with them. You could put targets out, you could do it for distance and stuff. Matter of fact, last week, the Champaign Composite Squadron was working with the straws rockets, and they had their own little contest. And then this is what we call the Goddard rocket. All this is some foam insulation and styrofoam meat trays. And if you don't want the students to use a hot glue gun, you could use duct tape to duct tape the fins on. And then we also have the Alka-Fizzy rocket. Mine's not going to work. Where you put a little vinegar in it, and then some baking soda, and you put it on, and you hurry up and put it on and let them launch it. This one won't work because I cut the hole in the bottom for the display. Okay, and what you get with the kit is the launch pad and the igniter, and it comes with a safety code, but when you go and you look at the safety code, you're going to have to go online and look it up, because what they give you is a little piece of paper like this where you need a microscope to read it. And that's their way of saying, well, we gave you the safety code. So it's their disclaimer. So I always have one session where you go over the safety code, because a lot of students, a lot of scouts will go out, and when you're doing the launching, they have to be at least 15 feet away from the launch area. I doubled that. I usually say 30 feet. And a lot of times you'll have them, they're so excited about launching it where they run out right away as soon as it's launched to try and catch it or retrieve it. And they have to wait till everyone's done. I usually launch between 3 and 5 rockets at a time, and each scout or student has to wait till everyone's rocket launches. Sometimes there's rockets that will have a misfire, and you gotta wait at least a minute before you approach it and check it. And I still make the students wait till we get that rocket launched. So let's go on to the astronomy section. In the book, there's a paper model of the Hubble Space Telescope. And tell you what, they're fun to make, they're easy to make, and there's a lot of stuff on Google on photographs of the Hubble, and it's a fantastic opportunity. If you ever want to check the NASA site for paper models, they have all kinds of paper models that can be used in the classroom, and some of them are geared. You could do them with the younger students, but most of them are geared for the intermediate and middle school students. Some of the other activities, what I like to do is, these are hard to find, you could get them online and stuff, the foam canisters. And what I did was I made pinholes in them, and I have, each one has a constellation, and you go and you take the bottom off and you put a flashlight in and you flash it onto the ceiling. And one of the things you could do is find out what constellations are out for that night or that season. And you could take the students and have them flash where they belong on the ceiling. And if you can't get these, have parents save soup cans. But one thing I've noticed, you gotta take some duct tape. I didn't do to this, but put it around the edge because that edge is sharp so they don't get cut. And what I did was on the can, I put the constellation and then some information about the constellation. And this is something you could do as a project and then either keep it in the classroom in an activity box or have the students take the ones they make home. So you could do it either way. And with the thing, you'll get, depending on how many students you have, you'll get a Celestron Telescope. And these are nice, they're a basic telescope. It's great for seeing the moon and stuff, the craters on the moon. You can't pick up Mars and say, whoa, there's a Martian walking on Mars, or there's the Curiosity rover. You won't even get to see the garbage on the moon. Our next STEM kit is Renewable Energy. And in it, it comes with all kinds of goodies. Kids love Connects, but they have plans in here, and you have for wind, you have for water, and they also give you a solar panel where it could be converted to a solar car. I'll leave it out. And this one is actually a water-powered vehicle. You would put a funnel up here and you'd pour the water in and it would turn the paddles, which would turn the large wheels, and it would go. The next kit is our intermediate math and geometry kit. It deals with shapes, and some teachers are even using it for counting with the primary grades, taking the various different sizes, say this is 3 inches, they would get 3 of the smaller ones that would equal that. And you could say these 3 equals 1, or 3 inches equals whatever, you know. Anyway, it's a good program, and you know, Connects aren't cheap. Okay, this next STEM is called hydraulics engineering, and what you build, there's 3 different projects, and in the case there's the lift. Actually, there's 2 lifts, 2 different types of lifts, and then like a fork that grabs. Actually, there's 4 in here. I'm sorry. And this is probably one of the most inexpensive STEM kits. I picked mine up over at Hobby Lobby because at the time they weren't giving them away to me. And it only ran me $28 plus the 40% off. So, but you get 4 kits in one box. So if you have 20 kids, 20 students, you may get 4 kits, 5 kits. It depends on how they go. They were saying we want more activities for the younger students, and so what they've done was they developed a robot for the primary grades called Bebot. And what Bebot does is it teaches the students to program a robot. And you take and you get this mat, and you could take and you make up your own cards. And you could do simple matching cards. Like, here's a fire hose. What would go with a fire hose? a fire truck, right? And so what you do is, first I gotta turn them on. Okay, we want to go, the fire truck's way over here. And we want to go 2 spaces, and then we want to turn right, and then go 2 more spaces. And then you have them go down in the start and press go. So go 1, 2, turn right, go 1, 2. Okay. I'll leave it up here. You could do matching, you could do math, you could do science, simple science. Like I have one here. There's a bird, and there's a feather in the matching cards. And there's a leaf, and there's trees. And so forth. You want to do math? What's 2 plus 1? The answer's here, 3. And let's see, here's ABC. We could go, what goes with ABC? XYZ. So what we can have them do, instead of just say turn right and go 2, you could have them go 1, 2, turn right, go 2, turn right, and go 2, and let's see. Okay. All right. I messed you up, huh? My problem was I didn't clear it. You have to clear it after each time. Okay. Our next one is the quadcopter. We called this our flying box. This was one that you had to build and stuff, and more than half of the time it never flew. I never could get this one to fly. So they taught it to fly by just tossing it out. So they have a new one. It's a bigger, ready-to-fly copter that you need to have a license. It's one for outside. And then they also have a smaller quadcopter that is for indoor use. And this is under the STEM kit ready to fly quadcopter. And this is like one that we would use in competitions inside. And why have quadcopters and stuff? It's the in thing. It's where a lot of the new jobs are going to be coming into effect. Farmers are using them to check their fields and stuff. The architects are doing it to check on buildings. Some of the old architecture and stuff, they want to get a good perspective of it. And the next kit is the Raspberry Pi, which is actually a computer, and the entire this is the computer here, and this is the micro screen. It's a touch screen, and I have the different parts in here. It's an actual computer. You could program it and stuff. I had this one set up at a conference where it would, the kids that were there could play Minecraft on it. So. Okay, the next is Spiro. Spiro is a little robot that does all kinds of different things. You could paint with it, and it's very durable. It could fall and not break. And this is the charging station. All you have to do is place the Spiro onto the ball. And one of the things you can do with it is set up a course and have competitions. These courses, you have to actually program Spiro to do them. It's not as easy as it looks. And then our next is Snaptricity. Snaptricity tells you about electricity, different currents and stuff. And there's a complete instruction book. It has different projects and stuff. And they use batteries in a parallel. You could do the propeller and a fan. I took the propeller and I had this on here, and every time we turn it on, the propeller would take off. And so what I did was I put a hypnotizing disc on it. And it comes with the kit, and tell you what, you watch it long enough and you could get hypnotized. And it's a nice little project. See, you're getting sleepy. So. And then we have the remote control aircraft, and the kit comes with a real nice controller. And it also comes this is actually for a simulator. You hook it up to the computer, you have the disc, and you're ready to practice. And then you also get the remote control aircraft. And it's something that teaches aviation, how to fly a plane and stuff. There are remote control clubs around that will be happy to come out to your classroom and talk about aviation, and even put on a demonstration. So, and our last STEM kit is our flight simulator, and it comes with the pedals and the yoke, and it will teach you basically how to fly a plane. I'll give you a good idea how to fly. Matter of fact, I believe they use something like this in the Air Force. They go and I went to one Air Force base and went on a tour, and they took us through a room with nothing but simulators. And the guys were playing video games. So this is another one of our more expensive ones, and depending on how many students you have, depends on how many simulators you get. So, and you'll need a computer to be compatible with it. So, and this is it for Colonel Grumpy's STEM Club for today. Until next week, I salute and want to remind you that readers are leaders and you don't do drugs.
If you live in the Champaign-Urbana area and you are 12 to 18 years old for our cadet program, or over 18 years old for our senior program, and are interested in joining the Civil Air Patrol, we invite you to attend our meeting Monday evenings, 6:30 p.m. at the School of Aviation at Willard Airport in Savoy.